Hello, Cabalites. I see you're back for more horror galore. I asked you on Twitter what you wanted to hear, and you answered. So I'm going to bring you two more terrifying urban legends that will haunt your dreams and maybe even your waking hours. There's an old saying that knowledge is power, but some things are better left forgotten. You've been saving up for this trip to Mexico for months. Finally, you're able to go and explore, to immerse yourself in another culture. As you walk down the street, murmurs ripple through the crowd as it parts for a disheveled and panicked-looking man. It appears as though he has led a rough life on the street, his skin weathered and scaly, hair in patches, blackened missing teeth, and cloudy but bloodshot and panicked eyes. As he approaches one couple, he's violently shoved away, directly into you. You stumble from the impact, both of you falling to the ground, and as you manage to collect yourself, you look up to see his gaze fixed upon you, tears welling in his eyes, and a peaceful smile crossing his face. He rapidly scrambles up and disappears into the crowd just as quickly as he appeared, everyone murmuring and watching in his passing. You return to your hotel room, unloading your belongings from a day of browsing wares, and go to empty your pockets, only to feel something strange. As you pull it out, you look down to see an old Polaroid. Forever frozen in the image is a scowling young woman dressed in white. As you look at it, a feeling of dread washes over you. It seems as though the eyes of the picture bore into your very soul, as what feels like a loathing for all existence seems to surround you like a wet blanket. Shaking off the feeling as nothing more than tiredness after a day of traveling and exploration, you retire for the night. Yet, sleep does not come easy. For every time you close your eyes, you feel as though you're being watched. As you toss and turn and finally seem about to drift off, a banging sounds on your door that seems to rattle the very hinges. And yet, afterwards, nothing. Finally, you drift off to sleep, waking in the morning exhausted, half-remembered nightmares of a grimacing woman in white with dead black eyes. All you seem to remember. As you approach the mirror, you see a haggard individual. Overnight, your skin has turned pale, flaky, almost corpse-like. Fixated in horror at your appearance in the mirror, you barely notice a flash of white behind you. Quickly turning around, you see nothing. Perhaps you've eaten something bad or caught something. You should probably lay down and rest. You return to bed, once again falling into a nightmare-assaulted slumber. The day wanes and night falls, as you yet again writhe in the sheets. A monstrous rap once again shakes your door, this time twice. Too tired to leave the bed, you sit in fear. Morning dawning once more, only to find now that your hair is coming away in patches, and the old Polaroid sitting in front of the mirror. Panic yet drained, the cycle continues. This time, a loud rap at the door. 3 strikes, shaking the door in its frame. And then this morning, a mouth of blackened teeth greets you in the mirror's reflection. Panic takes hold, and finally, fueled by fear, you manage to leave the room, Polaroid in hand, running out into the streets in a panic. Looking behind you, you can see a black-eyed woman in white following you unnoticed through the crowd. Terror gripping your heart, you seek help from anyone, but are turned away with gazes of disgust. Finally approaching someone who looks like they might help, only to be violently shoved away, bumping into an innocent passerby. Both of you falling to the ground, an idea flashing into your mind. This thing, it must be because of the photograph. If only you could give it to another. Quickly, you slip the photograph into their bag and scramble away in a panic. Finally free of whatever haunting presence has been stalking you. As you return to your room, you breathe a sigh of relief, falling into bed and passing out from exhaustion. Suddenly, 4 earth-shattering raps on your door pull you from the sweet release of sleep. Shakily standing up, your heart racing, you approach the door and look out the peephole. Staring back at you, a grimace and a pair of cold, dead black eyes. So this one was rather long, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. The legend of La Muerto Blanco has been said to be terrorizing the people of Mexico for years. The spirit of this young woman who found solace in oblivion and sought to be forgotten by the world, assaulting anyone who learns of her existence, for she cannot rest as long as she is known about. Oh. Whoops. So, dear viewer, have you ever wanted to know the future? What price would you pay to know what awaits you? The weekend has been eventful, and you've been lucky enough to spend time with 2 of your dearest friends. As daylight wanes and night covers the land, talk turns to that of the future. Hopes, dreams, goals. You all wistfully tell of what you wish to happen, but doubt begins to overtake you, and you turn morose as you realize nothing is certain. No mortal can know the future. No mortal. It occurs to you the old tale you've heard as a child, but you are too scared to try. You don't truly believe, but in the off chance, What harm could it do? You gather your two friends and convince them to take part. If not to try and know their future, then at least to test your bravery and maybe get a few laughs out of it. One of you grabs an old candle, and the three of you proceed to a bathroom. You all chuckle nervously as you light the candle and proceed to turn off all of the lights. The weak flame flickering and shadows playing across your face. You all look at each other, smiling, albeit with a nervousness in your eyes. Your face is glowing in the mirror. You begin chanting the name. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Slowly, the humor in your voice dies, until reaching the 8th chant, you grow hesitant. A chill runs down your spine, and you can't be sure if it's your breath or some unknown breeze that causes the candlelight to flicker and the shadows to play strangely across your faces in the confined bathroom. You shake off the feeling of dread and decide to continue on. Just the final 13th calling remains. You all look at each other nervously. The smile once on your faces, now replaced with nervousness. There's no way this could actually work, right? I mean, it's just a scary kid's story. You jump as your friend smacks the counter of the bathroom and looks determinedly into the mirror. Bloody Mary. Your blood runs cold as the three of you sit in silence, and then slowly break into laughter. You look at the other two and smile, to think you are actually scared that something could happen. As you chuckle, you look into the mirror, the wavering candlelight playing across the four faces. What good is knowing the future if it just means that it comes all too quickly at the hands of a malevolent mirror-dwelling spirit? As for who Mary actually is, well, that's up for debate. The practice of looking for the future in a mirror has been around for centuries, but Mary in particular has been stoking the fires of fear of children since the 1900s. I don't know about you, but I remember trying this as a kid. I could never get all the way through, and maybe it might be for the best. So now we have two more urban legends chronicled in the Nerdnomicon. But there's even more horrors that wait to be told. If you want to have a hand in choosing what appears in the next Frightday Nights special, you can always follow me on Twitter. I'll be putting up a poll Monday to decide just what we'll be looking into next. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss another spooky story. Also, you can leave a comment below. Tomorrow I'll be reading some of them off on my update video. Until next time, Cabalites. Have you seen the violet side?